Remy, let me come back to you on this. She's mentioned a couple of things that really should be looked into. Now, at the level of organizations, we have unions. How can the trade unions or the labor unions, so to speak, help to redefine how workers begin to look at their productivity level?
Great. Yeah, thank you. I want to say that the labor union must also strategize in the way they push for demands. One of the demands of every labor organization is to be trained. It is the responsibility of the organization to train you on your job. If you are not trained, you cannot be a gain to the organization. Therefore, in a win-win perspective now, if the organization trains the workforce, then they will be more useful to the organization and they will bring profit to the organization. Therefore, the labor organization must, push strongly for training. Training is key. Many organizations don't do training for their staff. They just leave them, they just bring them in, and they say, if you don't perform, I'll get you out. How will you get me out? You have not trained me. Tools of productivity is also very important. Some are also at work, they don't have what to work with. There are not enough laptops, there's no internet in the office, there is no chair to sit down, probably there's no table, and then they are hanging around and you are saying they are not performing. Why do you bring them in the first place? Therefore, the labor must be able to push for the right environment. The environment is very important, and then the right skill and the knowledge that is relevant for them to perform. Because all these things come together to provoke the productivity of labor, which is very important to organization productivity and profiting.
So, Remy, do you think that this could also have been responsible for the low number of people that we have collecting awards today? As we have 16 individuals and 3 organizations, as against 20 individuals and 10 organizations that received this award last year?
Yes. I'm not part of the committee of the selection for the award, but I think there's a committee that sat to really pick on those who nominated. But I think that is communicating something to us. Why is the reduction in productivity that brings such a poor result, a poor people to be awarded? Therefore, that means Nigerians need to be learn more or be aware of productivity. From organization to individual to life, to everybody must be productive. It is key to the economy of the booster of the nation. So I think it's something we need to look at, and then we need to check and see what is happening to the productivity of the nation. And let me quickly say something: the GDP growth of a nation is part of the productivity, but it is not the all in all of the productivity of a nation. There are many people who are productive, but whose productivity result is not in the GDP because it's not on paper. So those are the areas that government needs to look at and say, okay, what about those people who are working? Those people who are working under the bridge, those people who are doing something, who are placing airs, who are doing things that are not recorded in the economy. They are part of the economy. So we need to create a system that absorbs the informal people who are working, so that we can improve them. We can, organize training for the artisan. We can organize training for people who are working. We can organize training for people who are at home, for mothers at home. They can be productive. They can contribute to the economy of the nation. Do you know why there's unemployment in Nigeria? Lack of knowledge of productivity. People are looking for a job. They say, I'm unemployed because I have not got a job. But you can create a job where you are, in as much you can understand the power of value in productivity. So the question is, what are you doing? What are you selling? What are you presenting to your what are they paying for? What are they appreciating? That's where productivity comes alive.
Well, thank you so much.
Nigeria must understand that fact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Remy. Now, about to go. It's let's say crunch time for us. 1 minute to the end of the program. Remy already said most of what we should begin to look at, even as youths. Not to even mention the older generation, what we should begin to do to ensure that our productivity level is raised. Do you want to add anything to it, or what he said sums it up?
The only thing I want to add to it is, as young people, like he said, we should invest in training. And what I want to add to it is we must have that mindset of how to get better every day. That's what I want to have to it. A mindset of improvement, the mindset of improving, getting more from what you have and giving something better. Not only getting more, but giving something better.
Bountiful, thank you so much for
Thank
those
you
last
so
words.
much.
It's been
Welcome.
a pleasure having you on the program. Remy, thank you
pleasure
also for joining me on the program. Do enjoy the award ceremony. I'm sure we're going to talk to you again later on, maybe in the course of the year, on how productivity level has fared in for maybe the quarter or thereabout. But thank you so much for joining me on the program. We've been talking national productivity and looking at the level of productivity in Nigeria. I've been having a conversation with Bountiful Adelawa. She's a business productivity consultant, and Remy Dairo, also a business consultant, a productivity consultant, joined us via telephone from Abuja. Well, let me just quickly rephrase or paraphrase what most of them have said. It is important to understand what productivity is all about, and to understand what productivity is all about, you need to be aware that there's any such thing called productivity. Always have a productivity audit done, whether as an individual or as an organization, and always have a productivity plan as well as a committee. These will definitely help you kickstart understanding and being aware of what productivity is and ensuring that your level of productivity improves. But that's our level of productivity on the program this morning. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Harriet Agbenyi. Bye-bye.